Hi.
Hi.
We're taking a bit of time to de-brain. Did you have your sound on for that?
Maya sent me a funny video.
Not right now.
What was the funny video?
Not right now.
We didn't talk about the group chat in the break. It's fine.
I had it turned up just to watch the funny video. I forgot to turn it down again. My apologies.
Okay. So we just got a very difficult conversation with William Matthews, and you all having a lovely law nap.
I'm having a lesson.
You're having
Thank you very much.
having a law lesson.
I'm awake.
ASMR Lord to sleep to.
I find it's
great
actually
video
really.
series,
It's probably
actually.
so they do it for Elden Ring and stuff like that.
Oh, there's a channel like that.
You don't need to know anything about this thing.
You
just
will.
listen to the guy.
Yeah, he's got such a soothing voice.
We'll
It's
send
like
you the links.
velvet.
Yes, I imagine Polly. It's actually quite easy to drop off to because he's got so Siren's got a fairly like chill voice that is just like yes anyway. But actually listening to him, you can get a bit frustrating to listen to because he just goes off on tangents, and then occasionally somebody goes, "But what happened with this?"
And then that's just encouraging him.
Yeah, and he goes, "Ooh, let's start that story again." You know, oh my god. So it takes a lot longer to get information. But you do get a hell of a lot of information about the lore of the Nine Hells and of Avernus specifically, which is very interesting. You are gently shoving that bit of wood, by the way, so just be careful.
Oh.
It is slowly shifting.
Yes.
There we go.
Apologies.
Thank you. Just be aware of that. Adolin,
Yes.
you
Your
are
favourite
currently in
pet
pitch
peeve.
battle. Do you imagine it's maybe disrupting Polly's rest a little bit because you're
fine.
hearing like the occasional scream, punch, and die coming over the telepathic bond.
This is my kind of ASMR.
Yeah, yes, the screams.
Battle sounds to sleep to.
Oh, I get to recycle this joke. My ASMR of choice is Aasimar.
Nice. Love it.
God damn it.
That's recycle? When did that come about?
I used it at a different campaign.
Okay.
You played other campaigns.
I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
other people?
You were there.
Oh, never mind then. Which campaign?
It was Reese's. There was an
Ah.
Aasimar who had a really nice voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adolin.
Yeah.
So you were at the second chain site with Sir Zazani and his strike team. Eofil is there and fucking shit up, and it's really epic and cool. Between the two of you, you managed to like shred this pit fiend, like ripping its wings off and like decapitating it eventually.
Cool.
You can see that there are like Erenes and stuff like that. I think I would like an insight check from yourself if that's at all possible.
Oh.
See?
As this pitch battle like rages around you, and you can see the devils like constantly trying to shift tactics and stuff, trying to get a hold on this group and break through.
Bond's up.
The bond is up.
Bond is up.
The
Provision.
bond is up, yeah.
Somebody has insight.
We both do.
Yeah, we do.
Mhm.
We give it to each other.
Not
Woo woo!
14.
A 14. Okay, I think even with a 14.
Was a 6.
That was a 6.
Yeah, I think even with a 14, you'd be able to tell that the devils here are much less organised. They seem to be in like a fair bit of disarray, and they're struggling to like make the standard like formation lines and like reorganise, retactic and like attack. They are struggling.
Do they seem leaderless?
You
they
can
seem
quite
like-
clearly see that there is like a pit fiend and an Erenes that seem to be like running the leadership of this fight. But there seems to be like disagreements, there seems to be problems with like organising things and like a lack of clear single focus kind of thing.
Nice. I think after we've dealt with the pit fiend, I
Yeah.
motion Io towards like the remaining Erenes and go like, right, our next.
Okay. And you see Io like singles in like yes, like cracks her knuckles, pulls out Star Shatter and like zips after it, and you see like this Erenes tries to escape, desperately tries to fly off as like you like hone in on like the next like land-based baddie as this like giant spiked thing starts like lumbering towards you that like several of the Knights of Ash are like trying to keep back their shields at the moment, but you can reach over the heads of the Knights of Ash and like grab at it and like smash your blade into its face and stuff.
Fuck yeah.
But Io like takes off after this Aranese and very quickly catches it and very quickly gets into like a pitch like battle as this Aranese has got like its fire whip out and is trying to like beat her back and stuff. That fight doesn't last too long. Io very quickly rips the arms off the Aranese and
Jesus. Fucking violent.
she's a war angel.
Indeed. Alright.
This is what she does.
I mean, yo-yoing and Aaron used to death doesn't look so bad now, does it?
It's still pretty bad.
But it seems almost like you found the perfect god to complement your aggressiveness.
No. Someone used to slay devils with.
Yes. So this fight continues, but you like with yourself and you feel like on the battlefield, you very quickly like dispatch of like the devil like command structure that's on the field, and then any like devil of any note on the field to the point where the smaller legions of the like the barb devils and the bearded devils and things like that start to like retreat because they can quite clearly see they're losing this, and you can see the Knights of Ash harry them, and you quickly dispatch the bulk of them. Some of them disappear off into the buildings, but you very quickly manage to dispatch the bulk of them. Mages successfully complete the ritual, and there's a bit of a scramble to get out this way, out of the way, as this chain like rips itself in half and then rockets across the city, taking out what was left of like infrastructure in its way, and like snaking across and like crashing into another bit of the wall as it slinks off the side. But the chain is gone.
Huzzah!
Wow.
Huzzah.
You can see the Knights of Ash all like cheer, and he's Sir Zalandi is like on the back of his like drake, like rallying everybody to him. And there's a lot of like camaraderie and like we did it kind of thing. And you can see looking around, there are casualties. There are Knights of Ash that are lying dead on the floor. Unfortunately, there is that mage that is now goop over by the ritual circle.
Goop.
So there have been casualties, but it kind of looks like maybe Zalandi only lost maybe a quarter of his forces.
Wow.
It was good. That's a good outcome. They were fully expecting nobody to really come home from this kind of thing. So that's very good.
Cool.
And you see Zalandi like rallies up with you. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming out. Did you get your strike? Your strike team took out your chain.
We did, sir. We were first back. Came out to see how you were doing.
Thank you. I feel we were not faring too well until this angel appeared, and I cannot describe the way she started laying into things, but I am glad that she is here.
I'm honk-showing, but you should tell them now.
And you can see at this point, like, you feel like she was kind of circling a little bit, and you can see she's looking off in the direction of the other fight. But, like, notices that you're starting to talk about her and flaps away down.
Adolin, very publicly tell Eofiel, over the telepathic bond, that William has invited Eofiel back to... Ingratitude. I can never remember the name of the building we're in. Where are we?
You're in the main temple.
But is it just called the temple?
It's called the main temple.
The temple. The temple. I thought it had a name. Okay.
Sorry.
Very publicly, in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, she...
It's just, the breeze is just hitting me in the face and running me.
Oh
Do you want me to turn it?
No, I've created a barrier. It's perfect
Okay.
now. Thank you.
As she lands, I think Adolin tries to immediately play it off as like, I've never met this woman in my life. So we're gonna do the super formally. Turns to...
We can't keep that up, to be clear. People know that we know Io. Like...
They don't. Do they know Io is Io?
She's got the face... She can change her appearance. That's right. I forgot about that, yeah. Yeah, so we're good.
I think he's gonna fake that he has no idea who this angel is. Like, she's come to help the troops, and Adolin's come to help the troops, and it was a complete coincidence. They've never met. So he sheathes his sword and says, "Hail, divine messenger. I bear an invitation from the High Observer of the Knights of Ash, who wishes to greet you and thank you for your services to our troops.
You see this flicker of utter confusion that goes across her face as she
She had
looks at you.
accepted the invitation to be in a telepathic bond.
And like starts speaking. I thank you, kind knight, for relaying this message.
Do they
And-
both have the same charisma modifier?
They're made for each other.
This is the new romance.
Yes! Oh my god.
Absolutely take that. Adolin would be punching.
And would wholeheartedly accept your offer of hospitality. Thank you,
Ask for her name.
kind knights.
Ask for her name.
That is most gracious. How may we refer to you?
Hi, can you sign on this dotted
My
line and
lady.
then like capitals underneath?
Block capitals, please. Just for ease of.
You may call me Lady Eofiel.
Whoa.
Cool.
She's a lady.
She's a lady.
'Tis an honor, my lady. Are you needed elsewhere in the city?
I believe there is another fight happening, and I would like to help your troops further. So I will be heading over to help your other contingent and to try and save more people. Good days to you, knight. I
Do you
will
wanna live,
make
or-
my way to your temple when I am done.
Forthwith.
Yes, forthwith.
I shall convey your acceptance to our High Observer and look for your return with the remainder of our troops.
Good day to you, Sir Knight.
How are
Okay,
the...
two things. How is everyone else reacting to this interaction?
Utterly insane, but very, very formal.
Anyone with a positive insight sees right through this.
See, like, like most of the knights are like agape. Like this angel has like essentially like landed next to you and like had a conversation with you.
Yeah, that's the kind of perk is nobody's really going to be looking at it and first impression going to be like, I should insight check this shit. Like, nobody's going to be like, this seems suspicious. It just seems like two socially awkward people.
But they just tore a bit of in half,
I
so
never
I'm not
met
going
an,
to
I never met an
exactly.
angel before.
Maybe
this
they're
is what
all
they're
like this.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they're all socially awkward. Yeah. You see, like, Sirs and Andy go, well, that was
Weird.
something. William knows you're here.
He does, yes. We've been back to the temple.
Christ, how quickly did
We're
you
bragging.
finish?
I mean, it was...
That's what she said.
That's such a self-burn.
I don't mean to brag, but
That's 100% the way I'm playing Adolin. It's self-deprecation all the way down.
So
He says I had a little bit of magical help to get me here.
We're glad to have you. But okay. Alright, I'm gonna gather up my strength to get out of here before another legion of devils descends. I presume you're coming with us?
Yes, I'll escort you back.
Thank you. And you can see he starts back orders, like they start to collect the dead up as well.
We
You can
didn't
see
take
they have
our
a very
mages.
quick like look around and
No,
they manage to
we just
scrounge like
left
a
them
cart
there.
that they start like loading the dead onto.
They
to
have a
try and bring
cart.
them back.
that's true.
I think Adolin tries to, just using his extra size and bulk,
You're still
graciously.
so huge.
Yeah.
For at least another hour, yeah, it just starts like
So
gently
huge, and
placing
you finish
bodies
so
in the cart,
fast.
and then
He's so big and he finished so fast.
you take the good with the bad.
We're children. Anyways.
Okay, so you're being wonderfully respectful towards the dead of the Knights of Ash.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Adolin even looks around for like a bigger, knowing he's got another hour of this, like a full-size wagon or something that he can pull if the cart's not big enough.
Okay.
And then just like starts towing that behind him,
Okay.
or like pushing the wagon.
Okay. Cool.
Mm.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
since I'm the only one out of the two of us awake, once the interaction has publicly and officially happened, I'll leg it back up to the command centre.
Okay. And see William is sat there. He's got like a small plate of like soup and like tiny bit of bread in front of him, kind of thing. He's like slowly eating it.
What's the guy's name? Zalani.
Zalani.
Cool. Is he there? No.
He's not here yet.
William's there, I mean.
William, yeah.
He
William
is there.
Matthews.
Cool. I come up to him.
He looks up as you approach, like, yes.
Zalani's team has been successful. 3/4 of them are still alive. They're headed back now, and the angel Eofiel has gone to help the third party, but will come here afterwards.
Excellent. So Sir Zalani has contacted you?
Well, he talked to Adolin, and Adolin talked to me.
Right, okay.
Why are people not getting up this telepathic bond? It's so easy to understand.
It's not massively common magic, so...
It's a 5th level spell, isn't it? It's quite hefty.
Is it?
I
don't
know.
know.
It's your spell, you should know!
I feel like I've had
She
it
doesn't
since
like-
birth.
Not with spell slots. She does it
The ritual.
the ritual. That's
Sits
what.
and hums to the bees for 10 minutes. And
So it's not using a spell slot.
Oh my god, it is. Yeah. I feel like I've had it for ages.
Oh, you've had it since 10th level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since
No, you've had it since before that.
Ninth? Ninth would get you.
since
Five
like
levels.
It's been
we're in a
minute.
warehouse at 3 a.m. This is a raid.
Yeah.
Since then.
I'm still waiting for like the third opportunity to drop that line.
Yeah.
But comedy comes in threes.
Yeah. Okay.
The entire Pearlmire just like apparating on the upper planes, and you're like, this is a
Oh no, wait, we're supposed to be here.
You see William takes this in and says, good, I am glad that their numbers are not too diminished. Thank you.
Not even
Alright.
a word.
It's very clear you're like dismissed at this point,
Wow.
yeah.
Is the Hives ever a follower of Torm?
Yes.
When
I feel. Yeah,
When
what
you-
was his reaction?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Adolin would ask like, did he noticeably react when you said her
Did
name?
you roll an insight check if you like?
You have an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
12 or 12? I think that is a 15.
Choices.
Okay.
Yeah, 15.
He shits himself.
I think in the 15, I don't think you see any flicker of recognition or
Okay.
anything across
I
his
mean, it's
face.
been a minute.
Alright.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I'm sure.
Sir Siren, have you heard of the lady you feel?
No, don't!
You head back through to the bit where Sir Siren is now just talking to a small child that has gotten a little bit stuck and is getting a history lesson involuntarily. You head back through to there.
Yeah.
And you want to ask him about Eofiel?
Sure. Again, at a loud volume.
Imagine if he knew more than all of the books that we
Yeah.
looked at the library, and we should have just come to him the entire time.
And he's like, yes, allow me to exposite at you. And he says, oh, Lady Eofiel, I have not heard that name in many a year now.
The angel that's helping people in the city introduced herself as that. At a very loud volume.
Yeah.
See that? He's, oh. Interesting. I've not heard any stories about her in, well, centuries now, I suppose.
How long have you been alive?
You never know, child.
He doesn't have pointy ears.
He does not have pointy ears.
Oh.
He's like stroking his beard.
Polymorph bronze dragon.
This is Miriam's ex.
Oh Jesus!
My God. He sits and thinks about, Lady who watches, she was known as. She was an angel of Torm.
She's doing a lot more than watching now.
Very much so.
When you get shit done.
With up here, any help is wonderful in our time of need, though. I was under the impression she was dead.
Rumors of her death have been greatly exaggerated.
That's how she should announce herself. Rumors of my death.
Perhaps. Or maybe it is simply another angel. I don't actually know how angels pass titles. You see, I did know once of a story of an angel, and he goes off on this tangent about this a story about an angel that like takes up the mantle of another angel after they died and stuff like that. And there's this massive confusion about historians, and he thinks he's telling you a hilarious story about a kerfuddlement between like two historians that are convinced that these angels are the same angel, but they're in two places at once. And they can't be in two places at once, which means that one of the historians is like, no, this is a completely different angel, and it just turns out that like these two angels existed at the same time, and one of them takes the other one's name after that one dies, essentially. But they like that name followed them back as historians like started like tracing their histories.
They refer to them as
so they like thought they were existing in two places at once, and then the historians were having massive arguments about it and calling each other liars and having fallouts over the fact that no, that angel can't be there because that angel was there.
Pretty funny. I'll grant him that.
It's like the pirate in The Princess Bride, whose name I've forgotten.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great sword fighting scene.
Very good.
Every fencing club we've been a part of has said, we are having a movie night and we will watch The Princess Bride.
No, you don't have a choice in this. Sit down! Oh, it's good, yeah. Particularly the left-handed fencing. They were really good with that.
Anyway, we shouldn't go down that.
No, we shouldn't. That's a rabbit hole in itself. But yes, you get a very long-winded... He completely forgets about Earfield quite quickly and starts just telling you other
hopefully
stories.
everyone else that was sitting nearby that overheard me very loudly announce her name hasn't forgotten.
Hopefully not, yes. But yes, so Adolin, you are with Sir Zalani's troop, collect up the dead, and start heading back through the city. And as with your own travelling back, you were quite unharried. You can, I'll say, like you've maintained your concentration on your sea invisibility because you get that for some time. Yes.
It's 1 hour, not concentration.
1 hour, not concentration. My apologies. But you can quite clearly see there are imps like watching you, and a couple of like larger devils sat on rooftops watching your passage and keeping track of your passage throughout the city as a group. And you saw some of them like head off with Earfield when she went off in the direction of Gregwin's group. But none of them moved to attack you.
You just kind of
It's almost
discreetly...
like the Princess of Hell is under her protection.
Yeah.
And he just discreetly keeps an eye on the ones on like the rooftops just to see if any of them like twitch or, you know, make a
I mean,
move.
they're constantly like moving and like almost like cats, like crawling along a little bit, or like little monkeys kind of thing, just skittering across kind of thing.
Yeah. He just keeps an eye out then, but kind of as with our journey back, doesn't like start whipping out his crossbow and start, you know, plugging all the imps as we go.
Pew, pew. Target practice.
It's like this magic crossbow generates its own ammo. Use it all day. Yeah, just keeps pushing the wagon.
Okay.
I think he's towards the back of the column, sort of bringing up the rear, lets Zalani kind of lead the way back up through the city. Pushes the wagon at the back. And hopes that the potion lasts long enough to get it back.
I think it will, because you had 3 hours up on the point of setting off. 10 minutes to speed bomb your way there.
Yeah.
Like,
Then the fight, then the journey back. So he's probably got like an hour left by the time we get back to the temple.
Yeah.
Could just imagine it running out as he's pushing his wagon up a hill and then it rolls back over.
You get run over and you're like, this is how I die.
Kill a third of the survivors.
Jesus.
Oh my god, if you'd been at the top of the column and it just run everybody over. No, that does not happen.
Oh, good.
You are greeted by the light ravens that are on guard and like ushered in and hailed in as like heroes. There's like a bit of cheering and stuff like that as you all come up. The mounts are sort of left outside and very quickly like dismissed kind of thing. It's quite clear all of these were very nice magic mounts kind of thing from the paladins. But everybody's brought inside. The dead are left in the cart outside for now. We'll try and deal with this later, depending on what happens, kind of thing. But you're brought inside. Everybody is like, there's loads of civilians like coming up and like greeting people. You can see like people rushing forward to like meet loved ones that had gone out, and like, oh my god, you survived, I'm so glad you came home. Little children running forwards looking. There are some that are running forwards in not finding individuals.
That sucks.
Oh,
Some of them
no.
like standing up and being like, oh, it's not Gregwyn's group, and sit back down again,
Right.
kind of thing. But there are some that are moving forwards and like looking for loved ones and not finding them,
Oh,
and being
jeez.
quietly told by Sir Zalani that I'm sorry, but we have brought their body back as best we could.
It's supposed to be good.
Some of them were not in particularly fit states.
Some more goop.
Oh,
Good.
that's not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Adolin just lets Zalani handle all that. As like Zalani definitely outranks Adolin, right? He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
for sure.
by a mile.
It's not even a question.
You are knight.
You are new. You can
Yeah.
You've been here a
Council.
week.
fair. Yeah.
Everyone is superior to you. I'm so sorry.
Basically, like, I'm sorry, but Daryl is technically higher ranking than you.
Daryl's level 6 at best. He does paperwork.
But he's a higher ranking Knight of Ash than you. He passed his test before you.
Adolin double checks that. I think just after getting back to the temple, checks back in with Kai and says, "We've made it back."
Wave to each other from across the room.
Hey.
Hello. High Observer knows that he feels
Yep.
okay. She's off with Gregwyn's troop at the moment. I'm not sure when they'll be back. I'm gonna go for a lie down.
I believe Polly is already asleep.
Okay. I think Adolin just
Join me.
clears like a very large space on the floor and
Crashes down.
lies down somewhere.
Aw.
Careful not to like fall on a crate and smash it.
It's fair. Clifford comes up and like flops himself across you a little bit, which looks like a tiny little puddle.
Oh! Just pats him with a very large
Roll.
hand.
Baby.
You roll onto your chest and you just like, oh, puddle.
This is going to be very uncomfortable when I wake up, but for now it's very nice.
In approximately an hour, you're probably going to get your ribs slightly crushed.
Isn't it?
Sorry.
It'll make a lovely alarm clock when the potion wears off.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my god, dog.
Ribs.
Sorry.
No, that's right. I don't think there's anything else Adolin would do upon returning before going to sleep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Ogre zombie.
So we're all here. We are all rested.
Having short rests.
Short rest.
Short rested.
I realize I actually have 2 spells left, so I actually think that we can take on the whole world.
Hell yeah. That's the attitude.
What do I have?
So another maybe 30, 40 minutes passes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear like another series of shouts as it's quite clear there's another group approaching. As the guards come onto alert, you can see a lot of the knights that have come in and started to rest like quickly get up and grab arms just in case, and then immediately relax as they quite obviously can see some of the holes in the wall and stuff like that that are starting to appear in the temple and things that it's Sir Gregor's group returning.
Sorry, what?
She's just poking my toe with her toe.
Is that your toe?
Can we stop playing footsie under the table, please?
Everyone
I'm
keeps kicking
so sorry.
Children! You can quite quickly hear like the cheers and shouts of jubilation as like folk are approaching, and I think also like through the windows and stuff like that, you can see this light that is starting to like come through the windows. This sort of like in Avernus, it's almost paler than like the ambient light that's here, because Avernus gives off a very like orange burnt light kind of thing. This is a lot more like white. Clear kind of light.
Hark, what light through yonder window breaks.
It is the
Tis the-
east.
And do you feel is the sun?
Yeah.
As Sir Gregor's group approaches the main temple.
He's gonna look real good, fucking backlit by an angel.
Wow.
Do you all like move with the masses to go and see what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we're
yeah.
keeping up this facade that we don't know who she is.
Mhm.
We'll see how long that lasts.
It's not been a full hour yet.
No, so you're still big.
No, Alex
Pick up
very
Clifford.
evilly said 30 or 40 minutes.
But I don't have to be asleep for the short rest, do I?
No.
Just
No,
doing
just
You
nothing.
just
light
have to-
activity.
Light activity. Petting a dog is light.
Petting a dog. Adolin
It's like,
gets up, puts dog on shoulder.
it's like, yes, and then like slobbers on your shoulder. It's not pleasant, but it's sweet. And you head out to the main foyer, and you can quite clearly see like there are Knights of Ash like mingling, like clasping hands. You can see that they are also like dragging several carriages that are like hooked up to mounts that are full of bodies. Unfortunately,
gee.
they seem to have been hit a bit harder. But you can quite clearly see, like, in the middle of them, like, walking with everyone with their wings sort of tucked back in rest position, as it were,
Ooh.
is Eofil.
How tall is she?
Giving off this very divine light. She's currently in a very angelic form, so she's large.
Yeah.
And it's a bit
Taller
like,
than
hell
Gregwin?
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. She's about on par with Gregwin when he's on his mount.
Okay, that's tall. That's tall as fuck.
Yeah. And I think interestingly and probably a little terrifyingly enough, as this group like begins to like settle into the courtyard just outside of the main temple and like exchange pleasantries with everybody, like, oh yeah, we did it, there was an angel, she saved us and stuff like that. You also start to hear shouts of, and there was a dragon, and it came in like nothing.
There was like a glimpse of something dragon-esque, was there not?
But ages ago.
Yeah.
Like on our first
In our
jaunt
first
here.
couple of rounds of oh god, that was, I forgot about that. Unless it was Miriam.
And I think you see, like, as this group comes up, and there's like a scream as this happens, this like spectral dragon like drags itself out the drag, and you can see like Miriam just sort of like really jerkily moving as she does to
God.
one side.
Is that the thing that Adolin saw that was moving through people, through things?
through the building?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think that would be a very safe bet that like spectral form was
That
probably
so
Miriam.
Cool. Wow.
And you can see like she's like off to one side. And you can see like Aya's just like trying to make sure she stays back a bit. Because like as much as she can move through buildings, you can see that she's interacting with objects a bit, but doesn't seem to like massively understand when she's doing that. She's got a nasty habit of going through a building, picking a bit of the building up as she goes because she's accidentally like shift from ethereal to non-ethereal, and then just dragging
herself. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not hurt. She's technically dead.
Oh, that's true.
It's not really how she works anymore.
Yeah.
But she's got a nasty habit of accidentally knocking people over with her tail because she can't, when it's like passing through people, because she doesn't know when it
It has
starts.
like a whole door in it, and she's just
almost.
she's literally tabletopping people.
She doesn't know when her tail's like going from like the ethereal plane to the material plane. She's got basically no control over it.
Gosh.
You can see like she's
I'm
crouched
glad
off to
she's
one
about
side
it.
and is like dipping into the floor and having to flat back up as she's not quite sure what.
I wonder where she's been.
But yeah, she is there. That terrifies the shit out of the civilians as
That's
she
really
emerges
cool.
from the floor the first time. But you can see Aya goes, it's alright, she's with me. She's just confused.
She's not left the basement in a long, long time.
But you can see like there's like cheers and excitement and like lots of people like embracing each other as loved ones are reunited again, that kind of thing. And you can also see like the crowd starts to get parted, but with William's guards as they start to make way for him as he begins to step out.
Ooh.
And he stops on like the top of the steps of the main temple. So adjusts his cloak and stuff a little bit and says, "Greetings. Might I know your name, dear angel?" I can't remember if you had. Sorry.
Yeah, we have.
Have you? Okay. So you told him it's Lady Eofil. I'm so sorry.
And then we were like, insight check, does he know who that is?
Okay.
Is he aware of the heresy going on under his nose?
In which case he would like be stood on the set and say, "My Lady Eofil, I must thank you wholeheartedly on behalf of the people here for your services and for helping us. Please come in. Let's get everybody inside safely, out away from the devils and things. And I would be very much interested to know more about yourself and why you are here, my lady." You see, you feel like shift from that like camaraderie, grinning like I'm one of the soldiers kind of thing to, yes, thank you,
Angel.
sir,
Why
for inviting me.
She's usually not. I thought she was just awkward with Adolin because Adolin was lying. I thought she was far more.
She seemed less awkward when we were talking to her.
Yeah, we got
Is it because we
boons.
weren't being worshipy and they're being
Maybe,
worshipy?
I guess.
But also, she was kind of into it when it was Gregwin, so...
True, this is really confusing. Is she good? Insight check.
Is she alright?
You can insight check if you like.
Sure.
Sure, why not? 26.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, I think with 26 and Dirty 20, I think you can quite clearly see she doesn't really know what she's doing. Like when she's talking with you all, she could just be
imposter
herself.
syndrome.
Yeah, like at the moment she's trying to pretend to be like avenging angel, savior angel kind of thing, and it's not a role she's played in a long time. Whereas when she's chatting with you, she's just Knight Iho kind of thing.
The last
She's
time
chill.
she spoke to like high-ranking Knights of Ash, she murdered a lot of them.
That she did.
Um,
Yeah, I guess there's a little bit there of, do they remember me?
mm.
Dear God, I hope not, kind of
That's a
thing.
fair point, yeah.
But you can see there's like that sort of formal exchange, and she starts to walk towards him a little awkwardly. She hasn't got a clue what she's meant to do.
Give her a really encouraging smile, yeah, a little thumbs up.
She sees you and she starts to wave, and then
Yeah.
remembering that you were being weird before and the looks elsewhere.
Yeah, she's not in the bond, is she?
No.
You don't have any spell slots to
If
do
there's a
quick-
ritual, like if she was
Yeah.
in the orbit and she was like willing to it, then I could loop her in, but she respectfully declined last time.
She doesn't know the story we've told the High Observer.
I think that it's fine. Like she's inferred from you that you are pretending not to know who she is. That's
Yeah.
all she needs.
That's really all the story there is.
Yeah. Actually, no, we did. When we were like swapping boons and stuff, we did kind of tell her what the plan was. That we were going to try and
Kinda, yeah.
elevate.
Rough plan.
Yeah,
You haven't
yeah.
nailed down all the specifics.
Yeah.
I think she's tried to guess what you're trying to do.
But-
the main thing that she hasn't been in the know of is us pretending that we didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
Which is never
And she's
made
picked that up,
abundantly clear. Everything else she already knows. She knows that this is an entire kind of like, opportunity to show off her
Yeah.
capabilities to get people on our side. Like all
Yeah.
of that, she's done with.
I will be clear that I think one thing that you never discussed with her was like what is happening when you reveal what your plan is.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she also doesn't know. She doesn't know if she's meant to be the one that's like, yes, I'm taking you to my divine domain. Let's go, kind of thing. Like that was.
Yeah, I think
she's
we're
kinda
gonna
waiting for a
feel
cue
it
from
out.
you.
If
Yeah.
we start discussing the plan
Mm.
coming forward, then I think that personally I'm gonna pitch a bunch of detractors to the plan, and then hopefully she'll take the initiative to be like, here is an alternative for you. Hear me out.
Let her come in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think quite quickly, like she's ushered inside and ushered into the like. I keep trying to call it a war office. It's not.
Command center.
Command
Center.
center.
We should
Thank
get
you.
War
her as a
room.
villain just so that she can get an advantage on persuasion checks.
Mm.
Like for real.
But she steps into that, and you can see like a lot of people try and very quickly step in, and very quickly the Knights of Ash then like block the way and say, "Really sorry." Sir Matthews wants to have a word with her, and I'm sure she'll be out to spread goodwill in a moment, kind of thing. There's a bit of like trying to do a bit of crowd control, but as you step all up, you're very quickly just omitted.
Would we be let in?
You would be
We're
like,
I was
VIPs.
thinking of going over to Miriam real quick.
You can have an aside with Miriam.
yeah.
Little sidebar.
You head over to Miriam.
Yeah,
Okay.
wander over. Like,
You can see she's having a lot of difficulty staying on the correct plane of existence. Like she's dipping through through the floor and having to like fly back up and stuff like that.
hello, do you? And I'll keep my voice down. Like, remember me?
I remember you being a lot smaller.
That is
You've
true.
got bigger.
It's
What have you been eating?
a funny potion. It's temporary.
That sounds fun.
Um,
And like, she accidentally drops back through the floor and peers up behind you.
Thanks for your help out there. How long have you not been in the library for?
Is this not the library?
No.
Well, the library was the small room under. There was a small room underground that we met you in. The large room above it, inside and downstairs. But we're outside now.
It's very dark.
We're in hell.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Respectfully, Adolin, you're wrong.
You see, she looks around and is like, no, the lady asked me to be here.
Ah, they were pals. That is
They
true.
were pals,
I
yeah.
forgot.
She's back to her old self, you know.
She doesn't.
Wings. Angelic.
The lady always had wings.
I think you're expecting a bit much.
I'm afraid very much. Anyway, your basement room's still about.
Can I insight check the lady always had wings?
If you want, yeah.
Just to check. Because
I will remind you that Miriam is
she's
insane.
mad. She's absolutely mad. I just want to know how, like, convinced she is that is truly.
We're under the impression it was like Paladin Io that was checking in with her.
24.
Non-winged.
I think even with a 24, it's fucking impossible to tell. Miriam doesn't necessarily know if she is lying, if that makes sense. She's telling the truth as she sees it in the moment.
Right.
But depending on what memories she currently has access to, depends on what truth she's telling you, if that makes sense.
Okay, so she could literally have seen Io with wings now and transplanted it into her past and been like.
Any point in the past.
Yeah.
Or if she's met Io in the past and she's had wings, that's the Io that exists always to her. Her memories are not linear. Her memories jump in and out of existence
I was like,
to
it would
her.
have been an absolutely insane like twist if Miriam was like, no, she always had wings, and it was like, actually, surprise, Io has been like playing us this entire time.
Damn.
She's always been an angel. She never needed rescued.
This has all been pointless.
It's a setup! It's a setup!
Yeah,
But like, in a good way for us?
I don't know. How dare you?
I kicked Rosie. Your foot was very far across the table.
Well, it's good to see you again. We were in your library the other day and didn't find you there and we're worried about you.
We're in the library now.
Yes.
The
I'm not there.
sub-library. We were in the sub-library.
And all the
Where
people are
the books on the lady were
scholars?
that you weren't supposed to let anybody see.
Bookmarks.
bookmarks.
Oh yes, my books. I kept them very safe.
Oh, good.
There were some angels that were being quite bad down there.
No.
I think they've messed up some of your books.
No, nobody messes up my books. Nobody comes into my library.
Oh, she's gonna be so mad.
Well, we were down
Have
there.
you messed up my book?
No, we actually tried to stop the angels from messing up your books.
No, the angels wouldn't mess with my book.
If you have a minute now, maybe check out
Where are my books? She gets really confused for a second and just disappears into the floor.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
Cool. I
That's-
went to babysit Io, so
Okay,
I've
you
been in the
continue.
war room.
Okay.
In the war room.
Chuck
If
probably
you-
shrug and go, let's go in.
yeah, let's go. I want to try and kind of hook us all up with a telepathic bond real subtle.
Just 10 minutes of.
I don't. Is it 10 minutes?
For,
Yeah.
for
It's
a
10
ritual,
minutes
10
plus
minutes.
the casting time.
Yeah.
So like 10 minutes and 6 seconds or something.
Yeah. Because it might be worth trying just to see if we can get her in on it.
Okay.
Just like we can sit through Gregwin and what's his face kind of talking about what happened, their reports. That's probably more than 10 minutes. So I might try. She might decline, but I want to try.
Okay. So so you go into the main command center with Earfeel.
Write it on sticky here.
Sticky note, yeah. With Earfeel and get yourself you can see the people are getting ushered in. There are you can see important knights of Ashen, so great when comes in. Sergeant Krasa is close behind him. Sir Zelani and this tall female warrior knight of Ash comes in with him, and it's I think you'd be able to infer from that sort of leader lieutenant kind of thing Sir Siren is eventually shuffled in as he gets pulled over. There's a couple of other mages that are shuffled in as well. You can see Garen in there, or shows in there. Io is just sort of trying to look impressive, but like act natural.
She looks impressive. She doesn't need to.
Like she looks so awkward to one side, but nobody seems to be like
questioning it.
Yeah, you can see like Gregor is looking at her a bit like confused, but everybody else isn't really questioning it, and I think it's quite easy for you to infer from that none of these people have met an angel. They don't know how they're supposed to act. It's only you that like have met her before know that she's acting really weird.
The other angels weren't this weird. They were aloof and haughty and
dead.
Now they're dead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you can see like William he tries to get some people to like rustle up a round table kind of thing, like clearing some papers off one of the middle tables and get chairs and stuff like that. And he offers the nicest chair to Earfield and stuff like that. And she said, "Thank you, sir." And really just sits herself down and, "Thank you."
If at any point we make eye contact, she's like, calm.
She sees that and goes,
chill.
Sits down slightly lower in her chair.
Never mind.
But stops twitching quite so much, kind of thing. And everybody else sort of keeps nodding and smiling at her, and she keeps nodding and smiling back at everybody as everybody's trying to get seated for a meeting, but also there's a celestial in the room that's just sat at the table.
It sounds like there's going to be enough time for me to guess.
Yeah, I think you can have 10 minutes.
This conversation happens, you get shuffled into the room, you sit yourselves down.
Are we at the table?
I think, yeah, you are all offered a seat at the table. You're all considered important enough to have a seat at this table.
Nice.
We have a literal and metaphorical seat at the table.
Yes.
Wow.
And I think you quite quickly see Sir Gregwin does a bit of jiggery pokery with the chairs, where he quickly shuffles you three to quite close to Io. So you can see William sits opposite her, so he can talk to her kind of thing. And you can see Gregwin, Ursho, and Sergeant Crassa and Garen very quickly sort out chairs and make sure that Sir Zalandi is near William. Oh, yes, of course you should sit near the High Observer and not near the Angel.
Are there any people, just out of curiosity, any paladins and stuff that are vying for a seat next to Io who are a little bit pissed that they don't get it?
I think you can see Gregor is itching towards the one, but very quickly tries to get you next to him, and you can see Sir Siren just walks up and takes the seat next to her.
Amazing.
Very chill
on the other side.
Yeah, so it's if I was here, you've got you 1, 2, 3 here kind of thing. The rest of your group is offered into the room, but not offered a seat. It's you three at the table kind of thing. It's the heads of the group kind of thing. In the same way that Sergeant Crassa and the female that came in with Zelani are not offered seats, but they're offered into the room kind of thing.
Yeah.
Essentially, they've assumed the rest of the party is your backup, and that you three are the ones that make all the decisions, which makes
not incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
they've read that
very
correct.
much.
Yeah, and Clifford just comes and settles down next to your feet, kind of thing. And there's a cleric that's permanently attached to Sir Siren. Mostly, you get the impression to make sure he doesn't fall over as he's going up and down the stairs, kind of thing. Yeah, and so that guy is then so the mages get one seat between the three of them. The other two are stood behind them, kind of thing.
Amazing.
It's very much
Which one sits down?
I think it's Maurice. Has
that seems right.
And sits down.
Senior mage.
But there's a bit of jiggery pokery to try and get you three next to Eofiel, and to make sure that you lot can have discreet conversations if necessary.
Yeah,
essentially.
Cool.
But there's all seated. Water is sort of very sparsely handed out in little cups around the table. What little soup there is to be had is very quickly served around the table. It's very much we've got royalty here. Let's put on the airs and graces kind of thing and feed this angel. And so you feel yes, thank you, water. Yes, I drink this. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Does she drink water?
You've never seen her eat or drink since she's become a full celestial. She took a bowl of soup and then handed it to a small child the last time you did this.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
She was a lot less awkward when she was mortal.
I think she just needs a bit of reassurance, which is why I'm so desperate to cast this spell, just so we can be like, hey, you're good.
You're doing great. Calm down. It's okay.
Okay.
So I do that, and I think that I'll just like be mumbling,
Be
doing my
mumbling.
thing. Yeah.
Polly has a small nap during the mealtime.
Sometimes I'm Mumblebee. Yeah, and I'll just reach out to obviously you two because I know that you're gonna kind of like accept Clifford. Same goes. And then like I don't know if I'm sitting next to her or one of you guys can kind of give a nudge just to be like. So I'll reach out kind of the offer of a telepathic connection. And maybe an encouraging kind of like smile or nod to be like, you should take this. If she wants it. And then Ursula and Garen are there, right? So
Yeah.
I think that maybe I'll offer, extend that kind of like little like knock at their head, not knock in their brains.
Yeah.
If they want to accept it too, they are more than welcome to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garen and Ursula would just immediately accept. You can see they get folded in. You can see like Eofiel sort of glances up at you.
I had a feeling that she was going to break her brains if we kind of connected, but like if she doesn't want it, then just give her another thumbs up and be like, you got this.
She's like, yes, the salt, thank you.
Cool. Is there anybody else I should look
Are you
at that's
adding
in the
salt
stable?
to your glass of water?
To my soup.
No, honey.
So Lita,
They're all
Varro,
standing behind
they're
us,
like
right?
behind you.
Okay, I'll loop him in
If you
too.
want
Yeah,
to.
All
absolutely.
the usual suspects.
Is Belinda here?
She's not. I
I'm
think Belinda
shocked.
might have gone out and like
She's
started to have a
hanging
chat with the other mounts and been like, hello.
Oh,
Hello, fellow steeds.
She's never met another paladin steed.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, don't.
That piece of shit barrel.
Sorry?
I didn't say.
Okay.
I said that piece of shit barrel.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I just know that that's where the line was drawn from. So
I can excuse betrayal.
I can excuse
Not
1,000 bees being killed, but I draw the line at
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel refuses the bond.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And look, she has in the past, and I think she explained to you at the time that like having a celestial mind like hers in your bond would probably break you all.
Yeah.
Garen can't touch like divinely empowered mortals. Would his head explode?
You can ask him if you want. Curiosity over soup.
No, Adolin just kind of wanders that to himself, but doesn't try and
Project it.
communicate that to him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's an awkward meal, and then you can you see like William, like when the meal finishes. I was very obviously not eating. She's sipping at water, but she doesn't really eat, and she sort of. After a little bit, just sort of puts the bowl on the floor, and you can see Clifford descends upon it, and she's like,
he also
"Oh,
can't
he
eat.
can't, but he enjoys trying."
It's such a waste of food. There's such a little food here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But yeah, you see, that gets a couple of looks, but you see like Sir Siren who's sat next to her, puppy! And everyone's like, Jesus Christ.
What a strange dog.
Pet, pet, pet. You see William like stands up after the meal is sort of done and says, once again I must thank you all for being here, and a special thanks to you, my lady, for coming and saving us in our time of need. We truly appreciate your help here in this predicament. And see, you feel like you're very welcome, sir. I'm happy to help, and here to help the citizens of Pearlmire. In whatever way you all see fit.
I mean, she doesn't. That's not true.
You can see William said, "Thank you. I suppose we will continue with our current plan, but I should make sure that you are aware of what we're intending on doing." And you see he quickly summarises the plan of like that turned off like an hour ago.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It was on the timer.
Oh.
You can see William quickly summarises the plan for like powering up the cup and then taking Pearlmire back home to the material plane. And you see Io sort of nods along and, yes, oh, okay. That doesn't really say anything. You see William goes, right, okay, and he focuses back in on you three and says, so now that the chains have been removed, we can continue with the next phase of the plan. Perhaps, as you suggested, tomorrow, but yes, to power up the cup and to take the city home.
You had some points you wanted to raise, I believe, Polly?
I have some concerns
Right.
that I've been insisting on, because obviously there was no point raising concerns until it was like actually even a viable option. And then I list literally everything that I've already kind of mentioned. Like, and I try and catastrophize them as much as possible to make people be like, oh shit, actually that could be real bad.
Okay. Okay, so like the crashing of the city and
like the kind of like, yeah, like we don't know where in the material plane. Like there's just because we've never done this ourselves before, just because we're trusting that Arva was capable of it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be able to do it with kind of the exact same kind of like specifications as
we're trying to
her.
do it with even more precision this time.
Exactly.
Yes.
She never tried to land it perfectly. She just wanted to land it on a plane. If we do that, we don't know where we're going to end up. We could end up miles high. We could end up in the ocean. We could end up
on another city.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely.
And if we do land it back where we left, there's no guarantee it'll be spot on.
Exactly.
Could lead to earthquakes, flooding, the city crumbling, falling
Yeah,
apart.
absolutely. All of those things. I just list them as if they are all terrible tragedies that I would hate to befall. Which is true. I would hate for this to befall everybody.
I understand your concerns.
Mm-hmm.
However, we do not have another option for getting people out of the city.
Meaningful look at Io.
Yeah, I say that is where
Possibly.
we do have another option. And I gesture toward the goddamn angel sitting at the table.
The eye is a... yes!
Would you happen to have a way of
Good
transporting
Lord.
a city out of this plane?
Yes.
Perhaps, but perhaps not precisely as you intended, good knights.
I regret pretending that we don't know her. This has made it so much harder because she's being so
No, but
weird.
like, if everyone knew that we knew her and then
Yeah.
came out with this, it would be
I know.
so suspicious.
It would be really suspicious. This is better, but like, she's being so weird. I just want her to kind of get like
I feel
warmed
like
up.
it could be passed off as she was imprisoned for a century. She's not talked
But
to
they don't
anyone.
know that.
Yeah.
They just think she's a weird ass angel.
Yeah. Well, they've not met any. They don't have a...
Yeah, they've not figured it out.
Oh, yes, I hope that her badass deeds really make up for the fact that she is not good at this.
She's speaking common. She's working in a second language right
We're
now.
giving the help actions so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah.
Like, you could do this. Clifford's like looking up over me like...
Ruff, ruff. Ruff, ruff.
Okay.
So, yes, perhaps I could help in a way that you hadn't intended, but it will save the city and more importantly the citizens of Pearlmire. And you see William looks there and I'm of course willing to hear other suggestions, particularly from yourself, my lady. Thank you. And she stands up.
So fucking tall.
She is quite tall. I think at this point you're like...
I think
Shrinking
at some
slowly.
point during the dinner, Adolin's...
And everyone goes, oh thank God, we've got more space around the table.
Yeah. And
Elbow.
he'd have just been like sat cross-legged on the floor with this tiny bowl of soup. And then when he shrinks back down, he's like, oh thank God I can get back in a chair. Sits in a chair and just... this is normal again.
This is great. So you see you feel like stands and like almost fluffs out her wings a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
so it
she
looks
looks good.
Yeah.
really like majestic.
I'm gonna see if I can help
You see that
anything.
light like emanates a little bit from her and says, so I cannot take Pearlmire back to the material plane. That is not within my capabilities. However, I could offer you a different solution that would certainly get you out of hell, which, of my understanding, is the current issue and the worst issue that you're facing.
And land them safely somewhere rather than a crash landing?
Oh, yes. It's not necessarily a landing, per se, as we're not going into something.
What
Go
would you
on.
have in mind?
Oh, yes. My
Your plan.
concept for the
Your concept.
table would be
Per page.
that I could transport the city to the upper planes as a new dimension. So it's not technically landing, as you say. It is technically a new dimension. It would not have to. I wouldn't have to worry about hitting something, as you say.
Okay. I'm like, wow, okay, incredible. This is amazing.
You like immediately see like the mages like get quite excited and like chitter between the three of them, and you can't like snippets of their conversation of, planes, can you do that? And you can like see that like snatches of whispers of conversation kind of thing, and you see Sir Siren just, oh. But you can see, and you can quite obviously see like Gregwin just sort of nodding along, agreeing kind of thing. Like, yes, this seems like an excellent idea kind of thing. Garen and Ursula are a bit more like trying to be less obvious and more like thoughtful kind of thing. Zelani's quite quiet, and you can see William like starting to like scowl a little.
So what would this look like if it were to happen? Because apart from being in hell, one of our issues is obviously food and water.
So yes, if I could get the city, and I say if I can get the city to, if we took the city to the upper planes, I would then be able to provide you with sustenance, because it would be my plane, my domain, so I could provide you with food and water, because I would have control over the domain, and you would be able to live, if that makes sense.
Or leave if people wanted to leave.
Yes, I would then also be able to move people from the city to the material plane. I would, however, no longer be able to move the city. The city would have to stay in the upper planes. Move the people out.
But the people would all be saved.
Yes, the people would be safe. There would be no loss of life in the transference.
Gonna be real, I don't think there's much of a physical city left to protect anyway.
You see William starts to like,
They've rebuilt it like 3 times already.
Yeah.
They could do it again.
this is Palmar Mark
Like
3.
I said,
Yeah.
lakeside town.
Yeah. It will definitely not set on fire if it's in a lake.
Good point. Yes, you see, like William, like consider this for a long moment. So we would lose the city,
We would lose the remnants of the buildings.
and the history of the city, and any
Which has been
artifacts that we have managed to save.
3 times, yes.
I imagine that artifacts could conceivably travel with people.
Yeah. People could bring objects with them.
There was the entire thing that Siren was trying to do with the pocket dimension, like that's going to be accessible anywhere.
Theoretically, we could either slow, if we're allowed continual passage from this dimension to the material plane, simply physically ferry most things out of the vault. Or if Sir Siren is given more time, perhaps he could crack the pocket dimension.
Both viable options. I don't see why Irefield would oppose. I say with a questioning tone and look at her.
Oh yes, you are more than welcome to. I will happily aid you in the removal of all of your precious vault items, and make sure that they make it back to the material plane with you if that is of issue. I have no interest in your material goods. I do not want to rob you.
It's very noble.
You can like see like Sergeant Crassat like looks a little bit like what the shit, and there's like a bit of confusion flickers around a few other people's faces. But you see that
Why would they be confused? Is she her not wanting to rob us?
I guess it's just a really weird thing for an angel to say of like, hi, I'm not here to rob you.
I mean, but like,
Yeah, given the context though, and what was just implied.
yeah, exactly. It seems a very normal response to be like, of course I'm not going to steal your stuff. You can take it. That's fine.
You see, William would like consider it and be like, is there any way you could assist us with our original plan of taking Perlma back to the material plane using this magical artifact, the Cup of the Cosmos. And you see Eoville, there'd be slightest flicker of a glance at you as she looks back.
I don't acknowledge that
I
happened.
put it on the table.
And say, no, I do not believe I can help with that. I do not have much knowledge of the Cup of Cosmos. And I think it's quite clear from you all that she's fairly lying.
Yeah, but like also, like in order to overcharge it, we'd have to use. Is it just the trident, or would the sword have to be used as well?
So it really depends on how you're intending on doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever fully explored either idea. You very quickly sort of dismissed them because you didn't want to melt down the artifacts and you didn't really understand the other way of doing it.
We
so
weren't
you very much flicked to it. You never went and investigated those. So
Yeah.
I don't think we ever clarified whether or not we'd had to burn the other artifacts or if we just depowered them. Specifically like the trident and the sword.
I think
To power the cup.
all the other stuff got destroyed, so it's reasonable to
Yes.
assume that would happen.
I thought the trident and the sword were exceptions to that. I thought they could just get depowered to fuel it.
The only thing that we knew got depowered over the course of this thing was literally the cup itself because it was being used. I don't think there's evidence one way or the other that. My point being, like, it seems fine that she would be reticent to sacrifice her weapon, like, that has, you know, been a part of like, her personality for the last X amount of centuries. Like, I think it's very fair for her to be like, and also saying that she's less familiar with the Cup of the Cosmos is true. Like, that's not a lie. It's just not. It's maybe a little bit of a misdirect, but yeah.
I think you see William like consider that for a long time and say, it was my hope that we could return the city to the material plane, with it being the seat of the Knights of Ash Power and home to most of the folk that we have managed to save.
Could it be put to them, since it's their home? As a very quick, not election, but vote.
Referendum.
Yeah, a referendum.
Also, I said it in jest earlier, but like, you've rebuilt 3 times already. What's the 4th?
Somebody's doing some spray painting.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. You see, consider it for a long time and say, it would be difficult to rebuild. But you're right, that the citizens' lives should come first. That as much as we love this city, we love this city for them as well. And that their lives and their well-being should always come before blocks of stone. The artifacts I have more concerns about, but if we have your assurances that we can move them and that the citizens will be allowed to leave and continue their lives on the material plane, perhaps we can rebuild Parma in some form, and that is the best that we can hope for.
Can that be guaranteed?
That they can rebuild their city?
Yeah. No, but above the table, it's like what he asked for in terms of transporting artifacts from the vault and people being allowed to leave.
She said
Yes,
she's not
yes, I am.
she's happy with that.
I do not wish to imprison anybody in my domain, and I have no desires over the artifacts that you carry. So you may take them with you.
I'm hesitant to even ask this question. So above the table, but also like this is something that the Polly has kind of got our eyes on as well. Mm-hmm. At no point has Io made it clear this is her ascending to godhood. And nobody has, like, that hasn't been acknowledged. And we need the 3 things. and this would be the second of the three, and the other one is like people having faith in her. Does that have to be like a conscious acknowledgement? Actually, I guess I have two questions. So this one, conscious acknowledgement of being like, yes, I am aware that my devotion to this person is going to raise him to godhood, and I am okay with that, or can it be passive, like what we kind of have going on right now? Second question. Does anyone in the room seem like they are clocking the fact that we are pitching godhood?
Looking at Siren.
Good question.
Okay. Okay, you can roll me an insight check for the second part.
Cool.
For the first part, I don't think I'll
That's fine.
like
I think I've rolled only insight this entire session.
Damn, the other one's a 17 and all.
Yeah.
So I don't think I said it explicitly, but I think you've like had enough time with Io to like have discussed these things in full. She needs some people to be directly aware and like want her to be a god, but she already has that.
Okay,
both
so
in
it's not
yourselves
necessarily
and in the
more.
cult. She needs people to believe in her and have faith in her and stuff like that.
But
So
we've
just,
kind of done that already. Is that
I
enough?
mean, if the city rallies behind her as, "Oh, you're gonna save us,"
That'll
might
do.
be enough to push her through.
Amazing.
And then to keep her in godhood, there might have to be a quick shuffle on the material plane when you get back to start spreading the faith over your field, kind of thing. Of, have you heard of our new Lord and Saviour? Kind of thing. To like build her following, as it were.
Right, okay.
Which would probably be one of the things that she would ask you to do as her champion, is one of the things she'd ask immediately after this this campaign has finished, is to start wandering around the material plane and preaching her religion.
Can she do anything for Adolin's charisma?
No. No, she cannot.
We're going to get you a real good hat. And it's going to fix everything. Yes.
Fancy hat. Fancy.
Charismatic hat.
And can I get the insight rolls? You've got natural
13.
13.
So
21.
my total is 29.
29. Okay.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Friggin'
with
dope.
the natural 20 and the 29, you can quite clearly see
They're the
William
same, but
hasn't really clocked what's going on. He's
Okay.
aware there's an angel, he's aware that she's helping. I don't think he's even like clocked like what... Sorry, who she's an angel of. It's quite clear that she's a good angel, she's here to help, kind of thing. And she's got this convoluted plan of getting you out of hell. But she's not like declared herself off Torm or anything like that. I think you can quite, with the 29 and like natural 20 for the 29, you can quite clearly see like Siren seems to be like clicking through something. He's obviously got something in his head and he's slowly clicking through this. The mages are very excited about the idea of, oh, a new domain in the upper planes, and they're like discussing the implications of both like the logistics of that.
Oh, they might stay. That's great.
So they're like obviously very excited about the magic and like the arcane like opportunity that's here, and they're having a bit of fun like discussing that and stuff like that. They seem completely oblivious to the whole god ascending thing. They don't really do divine. But I think you mostly clock like even like Sir Zelani is sat there like contemplating. He has a very like stoic face when he's like sat at a table, and you can like see quite obviously his companion behind him is getting fucking bored. She does not want to be here. She was fucking shit up on the battlefield and looking pretty goddamn epic.
Cool.
But like right now, right here, she's cleaned her blade, she's cleaned her dagger, she's picking some dirt out of her boot, she's bored to tits. And is not interested in what's happening on the board. But you can see like Zelani is very like thinking. I don't think you can see anything that's like, oh my god, there's going to be another god or anything like that. There's no like sudden realisation. There's just sort of pondering.
Sneak a glance at Gregwin. Does Gregwin, from the look on his face, seem to realise just how kind of close we are to the edge of being discovered at this point?
How we're playing this.
I think between the three of you, you'd probably be able to see like there's a bit of tension in him. He's trying desperately to like seem thoughtful and member of a council, and I have to consider the fate of the city and everything, rather than saying yes to this plan, let's go, kind of thing. I think you get that sort of like slight nervous excitement that's starting to pour off him, which I think would indicate to you like he knows you're close. He knows you're so close to getting like easy acceptance into this without a fight as well. Like you're not going to have to like deal with William and like sneaking this behind him or something like that.
What about Crasset?
I think you could see like a lot of like surprise across his face and things like that. But there's a lot more of like excitement written on his face. He's not hiding his emotion. They're not hiding their emotions particularly. Like they are technically an Adolin, so it's not a face that you're massively familiar with. However, travelling as much as you are, I think you've met Adolins and you've met bird folk, so you would know that the Crasset's emotional range is still quite expressive, and they are getting a little excited and like, yes, let's get a new divine domain. That sounds great. Kind of thing.
We're going to become denizens of the upper planes. Let's fucking go.
Exactly, yeah. I think your most concern would be on Siren. He seems to be like puzzling something out, and given his background, it's not...
If anyone's going to work it out.
It's going to be him, yeah. Because So Siren is the one that would advise William on these matters, and he's already told you he knows who Leofiel is.
Clifford, go get pets from Sir Siren.
Oh, that's such a great... I was thinking, we need to distract him now. How do we do it?
Oh my god.
Dog. Yes, great idea.
He was interested in him earlier. Go be interested again.
You see, like, Clifford would pad up and, like, flop his head onto Siren's lap. Oh! Hello.
Perfect.
And
Problem
starts, like,
solved.
stroking his ears and stuff like that.
Excellent. Great move.
Distraction technique, go! Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to remember where the conversation got to.
William had seemed to be somewhat accepting of our plan.
People were being contemplative.
Contemplative.
I think we'd pitched everything there was
Yeah.
to pitch.
We've now got like reassurances from Mayfield that the people will be given the choice of whether or not they wish to remain or return to the material plane. Or
I will argue on that slightly.
Oh, sorry,
She
yeah.
has simply said that she will help everyone get to the material plane. There's not been any talk of anybody staying.
I suppose. Okay, cool. I don't raise that point then. I don't draw any more attention to that.
Okay.
But yeah, William raised his concerns, and he feels given a bit of a guarantee that yes, that can be met. The people and the items in the vault are not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels like we're basically at a
We're kind of killing it.
yeah, nailing it.
Threading the needle through the lies. It's great.
Yep, walking very fine lines.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say the telepathic bond. My one concern is we should probably get this done quickly, because the longer it takes, the longer the realization, like the greater the chance of the realization that we're kind of like the godhood thing is the big elephant in the room. So yeah, maybe we should do this quickly. We could just kill Siren. Nobody would think it was us. It'd just be old age.
Kill him?
I know.
Just give him
He's
a bee
my new
sting.
best friend.
Nobody will notice.
He's allergic to bees.
You never know.
Interesting.
So just don't do that.
Yeah, that's
You
not.
just stung him in his throat.
Oh, gross.
Terrible
I would
people.
never say something as disgusting as that related to bees.
No, just in the ears to act as like earplugs.
Yeah, that's very normal. I don't know what to tell you.
Nope.
Okay. You see William, like, he stands and Eophil sort of awkwardly sits back down. Says, "Thank you for bringing this option to our attention. I think at this point I would like to take a break, and I would like to take some advice, and perhaps we could reconvene later today, or perhaps tomorrow after we've had time to rest and recuperate, get everyone ready for whatever journey we so choose to take. So thank you everyone for joining, and please get some rest. We've all done incredible things today, and the citizens of Perma are all very lucky to have you fighting on their side. So thank you." And he gesture, and the guards around the room would like snap to attention kind of thing, and it's like people would start to get up kind of thing. So Eophil would stand and then be like, I don't know where I'm going. And just sort of walk near you.
I stand up and I'm like, Eophil, it's lovely to meet you.
And you.
If I may be so bold, do you want to sit with us? And I would love to hear some stories.
Oh.
We mentioned to the children here that there was an angel on the battlefield, and they were really excited.
They would like to meet you.
I would love to meet the children.
Yeah, because I know that she likes kids, so I was like...
I would perhaps like to visit your injured, if that is possible.
I mean, unfortunately, tragically, the children are near those. So we can metaphorically kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, okay. Yes, that sounds good. I would like to help the injured if possible while I'm here. Particularly
is that a
if we're going to
PC
be
thing to say when Krasik's here?
to kill two birds with one stone.
I don't know who it was.
Whoa!
I heard
Offensive much.
that it was kill two birds with one. Was one scone or something like that? And it was like the PC version of saying that, and I didn't make any sense.
That is not more PC.
PTA approved.
Is it PTA or is that the teacher's thing?
PETA.
PETA. It came up with something that was like...
so silly.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Feed two birds.
Feeds two birds with one scone.
Yeah.
That's what it was, which is very,
and I'm like, it's
very
lovely,
silly.
but that's not the feckin' saying.
And the one about like a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush is like, it's a hunting
that?
metaphor. It's a hunting metaphor. So it's like, how can we make this more animal friendly?
It's very strange.
And like, admittedly, they were coming up for alternatives for like flogging a dead horse, and I'm like, I don't like that one, but I just don't use it then. Killing two birds with
Ultimately,
More than ways
I
to get
don't
a
give a
cat.
damn about Sergeant Crasset, so I don't know. Like,
fuck him specifically.
he already doesn't like me. We exchange words. Like, it probably dies in the night. It's him.
You just cast magic stone and just start like tossing a pebble, eyeballing
so
Krasik
funny,
like
because I do.
bird
I love
stone.
that spell.
Like, you get a friend, mate.
Crasset doesn't have any friends.
Oh yeah, before we leave, I would like to make eye contact with Maurice and just be like...
Ooh, speaking of enemies.
So he looks up at you.
He still doesn't know why we're enemies, but we are.
He just looks up at you. Back to his conversation.
Amazing.
But yes, Eophil like walks out with you, which immediately causes chaos as like she steps out into the main foyer, and there are people there being like, "Hi, thank you for saving us" and stuff like that, and like trying to clamour to get like closer to her and stuff like that.
We're like bodyguards. We're like, please, step back, please.
As you start to do that, she actually goes, it's okay, and like steps in front of you
so good.
a little
she's
bit,
so noble
and she
good.
starts to like reach out to people that she can see like are obviously injured, and like takes their hands at her, and you can obviously see like cuts closing and like injuries healing, like and like immediately after, like as people start to realize she is healing people as she touches them. Like quite obvious, like somebody's got a broken arm, and you can quite clearly see like them this bit. My arm's healed! She's healing people! There's a bit of a clamour as people start to like
form an orderly line, please.
And she like draws herself up, like fluffs her wings out, and be like, "There is enough for everyone. I can help everyone. There is no need to stampede. I can help everyone. Please, if everybody who's injured could gather in your infirmary, I can come and help you. There is no need to panic. I can help everyone." And you see, like, everyone sort of goes, okay. And you see the Knights of Ash start like, oh, right, we have to organise everyone. And like start stepping in and be like, okay, are you injured? You go this way. Are you not injured? Yeah, you off you pop. You can meet her later, kind of thing. Essentially, and they just sort of corral everybody that's got anything from like a minor injury. And you can see the Knights of Ash are like quite quickly doing like triage of, you've got cuts, you can sit over there if she's got enough energy. You've got a broken leg, let's see if she can fix that, kind of thing. You've got a hole in you, let's see if she can fix that, kind of thing. And like starts trying to direct Eofield to like, these are the people that are most badly hurt kind of thing, and like shuffle Eofield forward, and you can see like it takes her a long time. It takes her a while to do anything more complicated than cuts and bruises kind of thing, but she does slowly spend several hours in the infirmary, going around people, helping them, and even like pausing to like talk to people a little bit and like reassure them. She's doing quite an amazing job now that she's not like having to deal with like high command. Now she's talking to an individual. She's like, "Hi, what's your name? I'm Eofield. I'm here to help. Can you tell me what hurts?" and stuff like that. She's quite good at that. Sucks at high command stuff, but apparently is quite good at like hands-on helping.
This is good. This is how you get followers.
Yeah. I think amidst the chaos of like leaving the command center into this crowd, Adolin would try and like funnel himself towards Gregwin, and the loud conversation part would be about how went the fight at the chain, slay any major devils, blah blah blah. And under his breath, it's like, "We're close now. Are your people ready?"
That's so suspicious.
Nah, it's like that's why there's like a loud conversation to ask it.
It's still so suspicious.
Easy Greg would answer the loud conversation of, yes, I did my best. I must admit we were struggling quite difficult with the difficulties of the sheer number of pit fiends and Aasimars that descended upon us before the lady came and saved us. Great, absolutely gloriously. We would have been dead without her. Yes, we were.
Wow.
Cool.
It's sort of like singing her praises, like vocally, openly, and like affirming to you, yes, everything's in place.
Cool. Not sure if there'll be a quiet time to ask him, but like think ask over the bond. Like, if in the next, day or whatever, before we have a chance to do whatever it is I needs to do, if Siren or that does figure out what's involved, and they see it as heresy, how bad could this get for us? Are they gonna imprison her, or are they gonna...
They can't imprison her. They're not idiots. They would, I think, ultimately, like, the pros outweigh the cons, even if they're pissed about it. Unless they get it in their heads that there's some sort of like really nefarious, like actually she's a super evil lady kind of thing, which I suppose they could if they figure out exactly who she is and they're like, oh, Torm fucking hates her. But like even that isn't a conversation to be had. Granted, a stressful one, but I think that if we can get everybody on side at this level, like civilians are not going to be like, oh, I'm so caught up in the politics of all of this.
Yeah.
They see a woman who's healing all of their number right now. Yeah.
I've spent the entire day talking to Sir Siren about gods and devils and stuff. Do I have any insight into like vibes of what way he might go if he works out that, or when he works out that she can become a god? You have actually spent an awful lot of time with him. Yes, I did. My new best friend.
I think most of the impression that you get from like the time you've spent with him is he's old, he really enjoys history, he's really fascinated by history and like the continuous like cycles it takes where it repeats itself like really eerily every so often kind of thing. He is a cleric of Torm. Like he has a divine connection to Torm. He's not very preachy about it. He's very, in the way that he talks and stuff like that, he talks a lot more like a historian than he does like
that was the vibe I was
devoted
getting.
like cleric of Torm kind of thing.
This is just a special interest. He doesn't actually believe in the god.
Because like when he's talking, he does like give you like histories of other gods and other angels and stuff like that. He knows an awful lot about Bahamut, in particular as well. And I think it'd be very difficult to tell like whether he'd have like a hugely negative reaction. It's probable that if he either remembers or correctly researches that Eofield is considered a traitor angel at all, it will have a negative reaction. How deep that is and which way he takes that is a little harder to tell in terms of, is he immediately going to snap to, oh my god, we need to get rid of her?
I don't think he immediately does anything.
No. Versus, is he going to do enough follow-up research, which he seems perfectly capable of doing, of like figuring out a bit more about why she's considered a traitor angel and trying to like weigh it up a bit more. He does seem a very sort of measured individual. Doesn't rush to judgment.
Doesn't rush for anything.
As you say, yes. And I think you also get like the very much impression that like he is of Tor. Doesn't necessarily mean he's like devoted his entire life to Tor. He appears much more to have devoted his life to the people of Pearlmire and to the history of the world.
That's reassuring. People of Pearlmire is reassuring because even if they uncover everything and realise this is peak heresy to support what I was doing,
It's still the best thing
it's
for
still
people.
the best thing for people. So might still, to put loyalty to Torm above the safety of the entire city is throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Another very offensive thing.
How many offensive figures of speech can we get through today without crossing?
Let's not
cross
test that.
individual.
Let's not test that. I think that would make me as an individual very, very uncomfortable. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we skin that cat? Because it's a fiend.
So
Perception check to look for it, please.
all right.
Do you still see
Right there.
invisibility?
Yeah. No, it's only an hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
I cast it again.
All right.
Two questions.
So like a 15.
One, how do we feel about this window?
You can close it.
Cool.
I think it might be a good idea to take a quick 10-minute comfort break.
Cool.
Actually, just to
Whilst we look for a cat.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Something
If that works.
fucking cat.
Is that what you want? A break until 6?
Yeah, I think that would
Can
be
I
a
ask
good
my
idea.
second question real quick?
Yeah, okay.
Where's Kyle?
Yeah, where
Oh
the
my
fuck
god,
is Cat?
yeah!
We can't leave until he's back.
Yes.
You don't know. Is
Fuck's
the answer.
Oh my
Darren, where the
god.
fuck is Kyle? Do you know which devil he went to make a deal with?
We can address
Was it
that after the
Glacia?
comfort
'Cause
break.
we
I
might
think
have
would be
some
a good idea.
insight
If you want to
there.
go
Okay.
and
Wow.
approach Garen and ask him if where the fuck Kyle is.
So in the telepathic bond. But yes, would love to address this after the break.
That'd be
Yes.
great.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, we'll take a quick 10-minute break, just for comfort, and we'll come back. I think we'll wrap up there then. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time, whenever we figure out when next time is.
Just check the Twitch.
One of the days.
It'll be there.
One day, eventually, sometime.
Bye!
In the future. Bye.